Why did I shot entire movie in 12,800 ISO? Our movie is kind of blend between sci-fi futuristic world and real world with some AI experience in there, and kind of blending worlds together in terms of high-tech and kind of real-world experience. This is kind of challenge to the cinematographer, how to enhance that or how to show to the viewer this kind of interesting, unique way to have this world like that, and also have opportunity to introduce AI things as well. I discovered not long ago about high ISO level and how it can enhance your cinematography in terms of gives you different texture in blacks and overall details, and all the plastic of the images is just a little bit differently in terms of if you shooting things at 800 or 12,000. You kind of need to play with different rules here and there, but overall image just slightly different. But let's be realistic, the aesthetic is not only one reason why you should try to have your 12,000 ISO in there and shoot your project entirely in this mode if you need to have that. The main point here is just not just okay, I will shoot everything in this mode. No, that's just for reason, for purpose, for things that requires you to have. For example, we have 5 days, mostly overnight, and most of the shot will be dark as possible, yeah, and low-key, high contrast level, and kind of noisy-ish, green, all this kind of just a really moody thing. And how to accomplish that with some details in place, some black levels in the right spot, yeah, all these kind of things. And also, if you're gonna shoot in something like on a Hollywood budget at night, that's another story. You will have condor lift with bunch of nice and extremely powerful lights and all of this in the air, yeah. In terms of indie movie, that's different story. You'll have maybe couple cob lights here and there, tubes, LED panels. That's not that huge for night, high quality night scene. High level quality nighttime scenario and high level quality daylight can be different story in terms of lighting and efforts and time and also budget to get this thing done. And in indie space of the filmmaking, that can be a little bit different pressure, different things. And I try to blend this just a little bit together to have kind of small package of light, but double it in terms of power because of the 12,800 ISO mode. When and why you will use this kind of mode 12,800 ISO. The first thing first is small team, limited budget, and all of this kind of scenario. Because of the nighttime scenario of the shoots, we have to have some ability to enhance, increase ISO level to be able to get these details there or be able to create sort of look. Yeah, that's the one thing. Another one is aesthetic. 12,800 is gonna be 1 blacks and 1 highlights level. If you go into the 800, the blacks will be a little bit different. It's kind of thickness of the black and richness of the highlights, all of this kind of scenario. If you will shoot the multiple different projects in different kind of ISO, you will get it. But the main theme here for cinematographer standpoint is kind of get a balance. And if you ask the professional cinematographer, they will say, oh, okay, 12,000 is kind of a lot, it's kind of not my range to work with, but I will encourage you to try in some scenarios, especially if you're doing really nighttime scenario shots every single day and you need to kind of be more efficient with that time, limited budget, limited crew members, all of this kind of scenario. You will absolutely amazed by this result that which you can get it. For example, these results, all of them is 12,800. The downside of this approach is obviously the highlights would be a little bit in the other level of the kind of control the brightness. For example, if you have tube light and if you put this tube light in 1% in your car and rest of the frame would be relatively dark, then your tube in 1% would be too bright for this scenario. And you have to have ability to dim it down even less than 1% to be able to expose the things right. Also keep in mind this thing, FX6 a little bit more noisy in terms of 12,800. FX3 working pretty well. Keep in mind that if you will go something like a run and gun scenario and then you will give this footage to the editor and stuff, 12,800, FX6 just a little bit different, FX3 pretty okay, doable without any noise reduction on post. Let's come to conclusion here and figure out why you should use or any other scenario when you can decide to use this kind of mode 12,800. If you have a full frame camera such as FX3, FX6 Sony or Braunov or something like that, Benias, all of this kind of scenario, this is good, acceptable. Second thing, if you don't have super high speed lenses, for example 1.8, 2.8, all of this relatively nice. If you have just the f4 or something like that, yes, dual native ISO can help you a lot with that as well. The third scenario, if you have limited lighting package but you have possibility just to double this package in power, then you will use 12,000 to do it. But in terms of where you're gonna do this, if it's at night, absolutely I would say acceptable. If it's daylight scenario, it can be a little bit more trouble to handle it, different exposure, different things on the face, and also the shadow level, a black richness thing would be different. And if you shooting in the daylight, I'm not recommending using 12,000 ISO anywhere. And if you shooting on some APS or Micro Four Third camera, obviously 12,000, it's a killer for your image, not gonna even thinking about that. But in terms of my specific situation, it was full frame, it was special aesthetic, a little bit noisy, different blacks, different light, like a exposure and detail through our image, just a little bit different. Even if you go into some different shots in warehouse or different shots here and there, and you see that even it's completely night, it seems just a little bit with artificial flavor in terms of details there. And still it's super contrast image, and I still graded that in terms of just have more low-key, more kind of bold image in color and stuff, all of this kind of scenario, because of this specific aesthetic and specific things. Yes, also limited access to the lighting and powerful lighting and condo lift and all of this kind of rigging around, more team, kind of bigger budget movie. That's why we also shifted perspective to the 12,800. Finally, if you have speed lens but you just won't be able to focus this right, yeah, that's kind of thing. And also solution of bumping ISO, it gives you a little bit more range to close the aperture, open the aperture, and have ability to give your focus puller more freedom to choose things and be able to operate faster and easy without any different variety of mistakes there. That's all, my friends. Keep in mind, this is just one of the many videos about our recent short film Francine, which will be released to the public after the film festival runs. If you like this video, please smash like button, subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next one. As a cinematographer, I teamed up with my friend Trevor Johnsen, the director of directors, to shoot a big movie together, at least big for us. You will also see the rest of the crew here and there. Without them, this wouldn't have happened. A big thank you to all of them as well. We will dive into cinematography and lighting aspect of the things from our 5 days overnight shoots at different locations. If you don't want to miss this special content, subscribe to my channel and let's get started.